Hey, welcome everybody. It's Talk on Tuesday. Right here at the Cutting Edge. And yes, I'm your host, Al Roundtree, aka Tree, aka Mr. Social Baby. Again, I don't care what you call me. Just give me a holler when you need me, man. So glad to have a special guest in the house today. Miss Whitney Allen of Whitney Talks PR is in the building. What's going on, Miss Whitney?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me.
Man, I'm glad that you was able to take a minute out of your busy schedule in between photo shoots and all kind of things going on you're working on for your clients to come out here and spend a few minutes with us today on this Talk on Tuesday.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, do you like the name Talk on Tuesday? See, listen, I've been taking a boat, right? Because my kids, they were on the show. We've had some friends. You know, everybody lately is Taco Tuesday.
Right.
So it's a play on words. It's Talk on Tuesday.
I'm feeling it. I like it. Yeah. It's it. I like it.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, it's gonna be here today. I don't know what my kids say. I don't like them that much. But you know, that's another story. So so Miss Whitney, you are right here from out of Houston, born and raised. Okay, now listen, this is one question that I get all the time. You know, dealing with so many people from the Houston area, so I gotta ask.
What side of Houston?
Yeah.
I knew it was coming.
You already know.
Definitely. So the north side.
Okay, so you from the north side.
North side of Houston.
Now, no offense to the north side. When I moved here, I only knew about the south side of Houston. So the north side was like going out of town.
Yeah, I know.
It was always
it is a stretch.
Yeah, it's like a journey. It's like a whole different place.
It is.
You go, you're like, wait, what?
I know, it's crazy.
I've seen this stuff before, so it's crazy. So what high school did you go to?
I actually went to Kingwood High School.
Okay.
Kingwood. Okay. So that's really far north. That's like almost near the Woodlands area.
Way.
So absolutely. Yeah, it's pretty far out there.
Yeah, that's I'm gonna have to gas up.
Yeah, right. That's a trip for sure.
Yeah, you gotta actually put some gas when you come out there. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. So you've been in the PR industry for how long?
Honestly, I tapped into PR maybe like a year ago. So I'm freshly into PR.
Oh, really?
But once I got in, I did my few internships, worked under some people just so I can like taste, the industry, just to dab into it that way. I was always into media, but PR was kind of new for me. Okay. I was like, I can do this. I can take this to Houston and really go for it. So.
Oh, so you said take it to Houston. So where did you start?
In LA.
Oh, really? Okay. The hot spot. I'm sure.
I was working in the Valley and Sherman Oaks and West Hollywood, back and forth. So brought it back to the South, and we're working with it.
Really? So did you have like a lot of cool clients? Like what? And can you speak to any of the clients? I don't know if you can, but did you have a lot of cool clients that you were working with?
When I first started, I was interning, so it was fairly new to me. I got out there Oscar weekend, so it was like 3 parties back to back to back. I had to nail out, get the clients on the carpets, make sure they had their wardrobe changes, make sure they get their photos on, with Getty and Wired and all that stuff. So it was all new to me. So I saw different people, and I really wasn't, too phased or had any type of the fame I was just like, I got to get the job done. I got to do it. And I knew I was in it for the right reason when I did that. I was like, all right, I kind of like this. I didn't really care about the photos. I didn't care about the carpet as long as the clients were happy. I was like, you know what? I think I have a passion for this.
Okay. So, a lot of people, I'm sure, when they get into that business, because they feel like they're going to get to meet, hang out, or be associated with celebrities or whatever, and they're doing all this stuff to be able to get in that position.
Right.
That probably doesn't last long because people are in it for the wrong reason. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't even know what that tastes like. Because honestly, they're everyday people just like we are. Absolutely. That's just their job. Absolutely. So we just, we connect the dots and make it better for them. Okay. Organized.
Okay. Now, speaking of PR, I got to ask you about obviously the hot button that's going on, which is, to me, is such a publicity play. But I don't blame them. The whole
I know it's coming. I knew it was coming.
I gotta go there. The whole Will and Jada fiasco.
Yeah.
Has been one that obviously the entire country has been talking about, their video. They never came out and made their own public statement to any particular video platform.
Right.
So they leveraged their own, right, to maximize the opportunity. And do you think it was the right play? And what was your thought on what they had to say?
Well, I'm just gonna keep it very vague with that. Jada utilized her platform at her best ability. And I mean, honestly, I would have done the same thing as well. I mean, she that's her. It's her show. It's her platform. Her and Will were able to speak their minds. I guess, however far-fetched they got with that.
I mean,
I didn't watch all the footage. I just saw a clip of it. And from what I saw, I mean, it seemed like, it was any marriage couple that has their, issues that are going through. So.
Not, okay, but as a PR specialist, how would you handle, when you got a client that's in a situation like that, they say they're a hot commodity, whatever. How would you have handled it versus what you saw?
Honestly, they really did it in the best form. They took the lead of that, and they didn't, let the media go crazy with the headlines and all that. I mean, I'm sure it's coming. And it's already out there, but she took the lead. She was.
Now, but the internet took.
Oh yeah, social media went out. Twitter fam, crazy. Yeah. Twitter fam, the whole shebang. But I mean, hey, that's gonna always be there. You can't stop that. Everyone's pretty much a journalist now.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone's a journalist, so you can't.
The internet is undefeated.
Undefeated. Don't get on Twitter. You will be hurt. Definitely. Yeah.
Well, it's brutal, and they're quick with it too.
Right? Oh yeah.
And so, how do you, as a PR person, dealing with clients of different levels and all that, you have to then stay in front of some of these same things.
That are coming.
How do you mitigate that?
Honestly, I have a lot of help. Okay. I have a team behind me. So if I'm not looking out on a crazy day, I have somebody else tapped in. Okay. And they'll message me like, Whitney, we got something coming. You probably should head up and, let that person know or keep them in mind. So I'm tapped in. You got to tap in you got to stay connected. Okay. You got to keep those relationships connected pretty heavy. Right. So just in case, I need that pull.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
You never know.
Sometimes you're going to have to throw your weight around.
To,
to be able to make it happen for them, right? Yeah, that's cool. Now how long have you been back in Houston now?
I've been back in Houston for about a year now.
Okay. So you hit the ground running with your
I did, unexpectedly. It was just we started off with just because everything happened with COVID pretty fast. Once we did editorials, just working on a few projects with clients, but once that took off, everything was kind of on hold as far as events and doing big projects with collaborations and big brands. We got some things nailed out December of 2019. We had a big MCM event in Galleria Houston. So we nailed that out, and we had a few things upcoming this spring, but that was.
Now, was that through some clients that you had, or was that you and your company?
That was the Whitney Talks company. Okay. But within that, I had my clients, utilized throughout. Absolutely. On the panel, talking on the carpet, making sure that their voice is heard and they're on their platform as well.
Now,
so.
How was that? Because people still wear MCM?
Yeah.
I'm joking because, MCM been around
a long time. Yeah. And people don't know that.
It's been around
a long time.
Yeah.
You know what? Misa Hilton actually brought MCM back out pretty heavy when she was, I think she's a creative director behind it. Okay. But she's been really pushing forward within the music industry and hip hop. Having a lot of design, the rappers.
Artists and stuff.
Wearing customizing their pieces for concerts. So she really brought it in heavy.
That's good. That's good because MCM was back out when I was a little jit. When I was a little jit, that was the thing. The little MCM pouch around the
fanny pack. Those are back in. I had one on actually,
really?
But we wear them across now. So you wear them across. You can do them across. However you want it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's still a hit.
Now it was old school. Then they had the short set where it'd be one color, it might be white with the brown trim.
Really?
And then they had the top and
Oh yeah, you had the 3-piece.
That's old school. Absolutely.
I
That was
mean,
the deal back in the day. MGM and British Knights, you couldn't tell nobody nothing.
British Knights. I've heard of British Knights.
Before your time.
I've heard of it.
I'm aging myself. That's exactly what's going on right now.
I'm
So
like,
forgive me.
okay.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on.
Let me backtrack.
But that's cool though. That's cool. So your year in, you've been here. So now the last 4 months, 5 months,
We're just getting ready.
COVID has just been
I
slapped
know.
all of us, right?
But honestly, this time a lot of clients have really been tapped into like brainstorming, calling me with ideas. When do you want to do this? When do I got this plan? What do you think about this? I'm like, okay, let's one step at a time. We'll have our meeting on Thursday. We'll talk about this next week. Just write it down for me. Let me get back to it. Keep that in mind. So now we're just, just executing all those ideas and bringing them to life.
Absolutely.
Preparing for 2021, because hey, that's all we can do. It's done. It's done. It's done.
July, people like this. You know what? It's so funny because I was on the internet and I was searching for like different events and stuff. Because through my platform, Social Baby, it's an app, so it's about being social and having
great.
events and stuff like that. So I'm looking for data for the app and sources of data, and searching for events and going to some of these typical sources that I use. Everything is like 2021.
2021, right?
We just hung up on 2020. Like,
I'm telling you, it's a wrap.
like man, so you see these memes that say if 2020 was a drink, what would it be?
I don't even know.
What would it be for you?
For me, if it was a drink,
Well, first of all, do you drink?
I do.
Okay.
Every now and then, social cocktails.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you this: if 2020 was a pair of shoes,
Oh no! Don't do me like that.
what would it be? What pair of shoes would it be?
God.
What's Jones?
I mean, you step into it pretty lightly, but you can't stand in them for long. So I guess I'll have to say like Christian Louboutins red bottoms.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, you can't stay in those for long. You give them like 3 or 4 hours and you're done. You're out of them. Absolutely.
Now, first of all, it's not like I can.
They have menswear. They have the men's shoes.
Yeah, I know that. But I'm still not buying them.
You're not.
Yeah. But anyway, you saying, so listen, so those shoes are super, super expensive. We all know that, right? So you're just saying just because of the fact that I'm going to have to post this on my Facebook now. I got to ask this question.
Oh, God, no.
If there were a pair of shoes, and I got to say that you said Christian, so I got to go there.
Yeah.
But I would think that somebody, from a brand recognition standpoint, would say, no, they couldn't be those because these are what you would call the epitome of shoes now or whatever.
Yeah.
So I would think that wouldn't be the move, right?
See, I might have said something like, some old Reeboks that you had in the closet that your yard cutting shoes, like the ones you go outside, you're gonna go cut the grass in, and
but I don't know. 2020 has just been that type of vibe. It's been that you step into it, you can stand. We thought we could stand in it for long. We got 3 months in, and we're done. You get 3 hours in the shoe, and you're out of it. I'm like, all right, where are my slides?
That's it.
Honestly,
you came in ready. You was hyped. You had all your yearly goals. You was
excited.
You was looking good. You was all jazzed up, all juicy for it and everything, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you just slapped out of nowhere,
yeah,
no.
Oh no, it's time.
Give me them.
Yeah.
Give me them. And just snatch them off your feet.
Hand them over. I'm telling you, it's just the honest truth.
That's brutal. Now, in your PR work that you do you have a particular industry focus that you have, or?
Well, right now we're just basically focused on talent. So entertainment, artists. I actually picked up a few fashion companies, but they're upcoming, and we're just working on that right now. They're people. My main focus is talent, though. I love the connection with people. I really don't want to stick outside of that and go, into anything.
So even for them, though, with the whole COVID thing, what kind of conversations are you guys at? I know you're saying that they calling with ideas and stuff, but like, what kind of adjustments did they have to make, from their work?
For fashion, honestly, it's been a very a transitioning phase for them. But this is the best time because people are all on the internet. they're buying stuff, buying.
Right.
So we're just, projecting everything, putting it out there and getting ready for fall, winter, and then spring 2021. So we're just right now getting everything in order.
Did they transition to doing a lot of like anything online? Because like you saw a lot of you artists doing the verses, doing different things, doing the verses, playing their music. Not saying that I don't know who your clients are, but I mean, are they doing anything on that level to help give more exposure to themselves, or just pivot a little bit? Given what's going on?
Not necessarily, not there yet.
Okay.
But they're working on it. As far as just utilizing all their social platforms, bringing their websites back to life. Just creating all that.
Now, talking about using social platforms, I gotta ask you about the guy, man. Even though I really would love to get your thought on this, being a professional. 50 Cent.
Oh my God.
Right?
He's killing me with the questions. He gonna get me in trouble.
What? Listen, I'm coming for you. That's what we do. On the cutting edge, I'm coming. You gotta be ready. I told you we just go talk. I was
we
talking. Let's go. Let's go, right? Absolutely. Like I'm really intrigued, by somebody who's in the industry, right? Because you got a guy like 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Although listen, I know 50, I don't know 50, but I'm saying I know he's not, nobody controls him. He has his own method to his own madness, right? So what are your thoughts on having a client like that?
Oh, well, you just have to be prepared. His personality is so big and out there. I mean, you just have to sit back, not really sit back too heavy, but make sure that, he's well aware of what's going on all the time beforehand. You let him know your two thoughts. I would definitely always have to have my hand on.
So you got to stay connected and stay in front of him just as a client.
Definitely. Okay. I would use that.
Okay.
Utilize that as well. But just staying definitely ahead of the game, because
you got to. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know he a firecracker. I get it. He a firecracker. Now listen, guys, our listeners and viewers out there on Facebook and YouTube and all of that, like, please feel free to give us a call at 281-587-1540. That's 281-587-1540. You listening to The Cutting Edge. Now I want to get back into this some more about Fifth, right? So, as a fan, somebody in the business, like, he loves to antagonize people, right? Like he do, like, and that's always kind of been his gimmick, I would say, after his first album, right? Like, it's always kind of been his motive is like, oh, I'm gonna pick a fight with this person, blah blah blah, whatever, over social media, the internet, just trolling and doing what he do. Now here recently, right, there has been some talks about him and T.I. doing the Versus thing on IG or whatever, right? First of all, who you got? Oh yeah, I'm coming for you. Absolutely.
They're both legends. If you think about it, 50 when he had and T.I. I don't know, that's a hard one.
It's really not that hard.
Is it not?
No. Not in my opinion, but go ahead. I'm gonna let you spell it out. Because listen, because here's the deal. So with 50, don't get me wrong, world-renowned star. Right? So I don't know how big T.I. was globally. I know 50 was, but I'm not saying T.I. wasn't. I'm just saying I don't know.
Right.
But from music production, in terms of the number of hits and albums and all that. Oh, it's T.I. all day. All day. Yeah. Like Fifth, his first album was ludicrous. Like, it was crazy, right? Like, hands down, by far, bar none. Like, he probably would beat T.I. from that standpoint in terms of sales. But in terms of like songs, if they went song for song in their catalog.
Yeah, I guess I'm looking at it at the marketing standpoint, because 50 he had like little. What are the model toys, the little game toys? What is it? Get Rich or Die Trying. I'm thinking about the whole marketing scheme for it. That was just brilliant.
Yeah.
A star.
No. From a business perspective, Fifth wins all day. Like
yeah.
from a business
From
perspective.
business, you're right.
But musically,
Music.
I can't see it.
Okay.
I can't see it. So I mean, you ride with that. Don't be over here riding, telling.
No,
See,
no.
when I'm sitting, no. I need you to stand on your own 2 feet and tell me who you go with.
Oh, okay. I mean, I get where you're going with it. I'll say T.I.
You'll say T.I.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good. It's cool to see somebody got common sense down here. Man. That's good. No, but that's cool though. No, I just think that, I mean, for me, 50 Cent, while he's done some good things musically, I just thought T.I. really has done more.
You're right.
But from a business perspective, like Fit changed things when he was doing the water deal and just all the stuff he's done in TV and film and all of that. Yeah, like he's done his thing. So I had to give him his props.
Definitely.
For sure. But it's amazing when you see somebody like him who has the stature that he has handle himself. When it comes to the hip hop world, if you will, the way that he does.
Right.
So it's almost, it's funny, it's comical in a way.
Yeah.
Because, he don't really have to do that. Like, he don't really have to entertain none of it, but he does, right?
Absolutely not.
So what do you think about clients who, who's going to drive their own car, going to do, like going to do their own thing? What are your thoughts when you have a client? And have you ever had a client like that may not take direction and or advice, whether it's from you or other people that you need to?
Yeah, fortunately I have not. I haven't experienced that yet, but
Okay.
I'm sure you always have to be prepared in the head. So
Absolutely.
if that does come about, I think I can take it.
You can take it.
Yeah, I'm a pretty strong girl. I can take it.
Okay.
I think we're tapped in pretty heavy with our team to stay aboard and making sure we're putting our 2 cents in.
Okay.
That's all you can do.
Absolutely.
I try not to really stress too heavy about just squeezing things in their head.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have their own opinions, mindset, you definitely go for that. But I'm just giving you what we beneficial longevity
Okay.
for your brand or business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you know the saying is you can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Cat Williams would say you can't make him think. He said something else, but I won't go there.
Yeah.
We won't go there. But he was saying you can't make him think is what he said. But anyway, it's interesting, right? It's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth, especially in the industry that you're in and the line of work that you're doing. You have to kind of take that kind of stance as
you
well,
have to,
right?
or else you would go crazy. I'm not trying to go crazy this young. Not this early in it.
Absolutely.
I still have a lot of time I have to work on. So let
Absolutely.
me just take it easy now. I'm sure it's gonna get crazy soon.
Absolutely. Now you talk about being so young, and it's great that you had some of the experiences you had so early. Like what made you go? You left Houston and you went out to LA. Why?
I needed that. I went to New York first.
Okay.
And I love the experience. I love the fast pace, but it was more of television, media, production.
Okay.
Like behind the scenes, which is great.
Is that what you were doing? Like, what were you doing at that time?
At that time, I was working with CBS, interning with them. I like the feel of it. Great, corporate standpoint, you kind of get that vibe Monday through Friday. You know what I mean? Business attire. But I'm like, how you just get that feeling that it's more to it. Like there's something else. So I'm like, all right, I tapped into fashion a little bit. Not really. Nah. Went back to Houston. Went back to school. And then I was like, I gotta tap into something else. I just knew it. So I was like, let's just go to LA. Go to LA.
What school did you go to?
LSU.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Tapped into it, went to LA, and
okay. So you got to LA, and how did you get into to the industry? Like, how did you, because you hear a lot of times, you hear stories about people who were actors, actresses, whomever, who back in the day they went out there and waited tables at restaurants or worked at Foot Locker until they could get on. A producer walked in and discovered them and that sort of thing. So what was it for you, or what did you do prior to that helped?
Definitely. Well, I had a plan. I prayed about that plan before I made any moves, because I was like, God, if it's for me, I know you'll direct and guide me. And I had a date set. I worked with this company. Well, was communicating with the company online first to make sure, just introducing myself. I sent over everything. We had a few conference calls over the phone. And I was like, well, when can I start? And they're like, well, can you get out here in 2 weeks? And I'm like, yeah.
Okay.
So we drove to LA, my family and I. They dropped me off, and they flew back. They left me with my car, and I was like, all right.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool.
And
that's cool.
Good networking. Like literally the first weekend I got out there was Oscar weekend, and I was just kind of like thrown to the carpet, thrown with the clients, like making sure that they had everything they needed. They didn't know I was intern. They didn't know it was my first week. They just thought I was working with the company. I have no idea what I was doing.
Wow.
But I didn't act like, I just went out there.
Act like you belong.
Like I belong there. In Hollywood, like I've been there forever. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I doing?
No, that's cool. And it's funny because you mentioned that because it shows how, when you take on that type of attitude, that type of perception about yourself and the way you go in and conduct yourself, everybody else around you will receive that. So you could have went in and being nervous or being, a little hesitant to move or talk to or reach out to this person. People gonna pick up on that.
They feel the energy.
Exactly.
Right.
It's called a transfer of energy. So that people easily pick up on that.
Right.
But you go out there and you act like, you owning the moment. You might not know your right from your left at that moment.
I didn't know where I was at.
But that's good though.
Didn't know what was next. But I was like, okay, where are we going next?
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, again, to have the support of your family.
Thank God.
Like that is awesome.
Definitely. My mom was nervous, but she was like, I got you. If you need anything, I'm like, I'm good.
That's good. Because, a lot of parents would have been like, man, what? You want to go where and do what? With who? Oh, no, we ain't doing that one. But that's good that you had the support of them so they've been able to, that's helped, really catapult you to where you are now.
Definitely. I think she definitely saw the drive and the passion I had for even when I was in New York. I was like, oh, it's okay. I'm not really feeling it, but I still got it. She came out there. She was like, ooh. It's different. In the South, you're a little spoiled.
Absolutely.
We have a lot of space and a lot of room. I was in the Bronx.
Absolutely.
I was living a little different. So when she came out there, she said, wait a minute, you got to go back home. I was like, it's okay. I'm good. I get on the train. I go to work. I'm coming back. All over again.
That's cool.
But it was a different vibe.
That's cool. But you have this, tenacity about you that you weren't scared to go out and do it. You was willing to go out there and conquer it, and you it's led to your success, thus far. So what are your goals going forward with with your
PR
company?
Agency? Yeah, I just hope to build our clientele, longevity for my clients. I just really want that for them. I definitely, right now we're kind of in the beginning with everything. So it's a really cool process to see things grow, to get the editorials back from the publications and everything. And so longevity. Longevity. Right, relationships. That connection with my clients. I hope to keep that and just moving forward, building. Okay,
it's interesting you say that because I want to learn a little bit more about that because, you would think that here in Houston, it's not New York, it's not LA. So the market here, is different but although there are artists who have went on and, become very large here lately. Drake kind of getting his start out of this area.
Definitely.
And then, obviously, Beyonce, that's a whole nother kind of, whole nother stratosphere for people. But, you got people like her and Megan Thee Stallion here lately. You have the rappers, the Bun B's.
Definitely.
And all of these people. And Houston has had quite a few a number of artists that has been highly, highly successful. But I know a lot of times when people think of somewhere to go start and make it, you probably don't. Houston's not the first place that comes to mind. So I definitely want to dive into that. We're going to take a quick break for a minute, guys. You listening to The Cutting Edge and it's Talk on Tuesday. Right, and I'm sitting here with Miss Whitney Allen of the Whitney Talks PR company, and we'll be right back in a few ticks.
So let's talk a little bit about intuitive communication. One of the things that I've always found very fascinating is how we instinctively have a connection to one another. And it's one of those things that no one can really explain. They just seem to feel it. I've always believed that in the realm of creativity, we're connected to a higher source. Some people call it the morphic field. Some people call it the cause of all causes, or the knowing, or God, or any number of different things. And whatever your belief systems are, you can appreciate that we all have a higher intelligence. And that's why when I look at what is happening in the world right now with vitriolic speech and with people who are promoting hate and divisiveness, it's really a sad state of affairs. I mean, if you think about the beauty and the diversity that we have on this planet, you think about all the amazing people that can contribute amazing things. There's not one person that has not experienced some foreign food, some ethnic flavor that you absolutely love to this day. Well, what if that person didn't exist? What if everybody just ate this one thing that was part of your culture? You see, that would take the fun out of life. Same thing with music, same thing with fashion, same thing with architecture, same thing with every form of artistic expression. That's what our Creator had in mind when He put us on this planet, to have that kind of wonderful, amazing, creative, synergistic diversity. And when someone has that, that's when they can really appreciate from a worldview how amazing this planet truly is. So I invite you to really open yourself up to intuitive communication, to become intentional about how you feel about your life and your interaction with everyone in your life, whether they're just like you, different than you, or somebody who can become like you, as in you being a mentor to them. So, as Gandhi says, become the love you want in your life. Thank you for listening. I'm Oscar Hines, NinjaTalks.com. Are you a small business owner concerned about the downturn in the economy? Top business leaders like Mattress Mac and Warren Buffett will tell you that now is the time to promote your business more than ever. People need your services. Your business needs an edge. Learn about special advertising packages for small businesses right here on Edge Radio. Find out more, give us a call at 281-744-0446. That's 281-744-0446. Edge, because truth still matters.
Edge Radio Network, where we have conscious conversation.
Edge is about love, relationships, and healing.
Edge Radio is for everyone and about everyone.
Edge is about working together.
Edge Radio is about recreating a beautiful body.
Edge is about community, synergy, and empowerment.
Edge is about being kind, compassionate, and loving to all.
And Edge Radio is about beauty and fashion.
各位观众 ，Edge Radio 是大家最好听的一个电台，不要忘记听哦。Yeah, I love Edge Radio. You can hear all about the topic and join us soon.
Edge is about being on the edge and not jumping. Yes.
When people stop talking to each other, society is on the edge. Let's bring them back. Edge Radio, because truth still matters. Been feeling a little edgy lately? Listen to Edge Radio. That'll push you over the top. 1540 AM and 101.7 FM.
Between the ages of 0 and 5, a child's mind is very impressionable. Researchers call it the theta brainwave. This low frequency is the state of consciousness between the conscious and subconscious worlds. In this state, the mind is capable of deep and profound learning, healing, and growth. There is a subconscious loop that's created during these early years. Who you believe you are has been downloaded based on experiences that you have had. A bad experience could create fears and limitations. Do you love who you are? Do you believe in yourself? The reality is that you can't control your childhood. All you can do is interpret it. You can choose to see your good and your value. Try this experiment. Project forward. See yourself at 80 years old. Now you have lived a lifetime. What advice would you have for your younger self? What risks would you have taken? What relationships would you have avoided? Did you celebrate life? Did you allow yourself to feel, to be present? Your 80-year-old self would tell you to not live in fear, to have faith that things will work out, that all you have to do is persist until you succeed. Your 80-year-old self would tell you to stay healthy, to take care of your body, and it would ultimately
Welcome back. You guys, it's Talk on Tuesday right here with the Cutting Edge. You're listening to us on the Edge Radio Network. I am your host, Al Roundtree. Checking us out on 1540 AM. We want to say what's happening to the people. Also 101.7 FM. Or if you're streaming with us on Facebook, watching us live or on YouTube, or checking us out on our website, edgeradionetwork.com. We want to say a big shout out and big thank you to all of you guys. Feel free to give us a call at 281-587-1540. That's 281-587-1540. And I'm sitting here with the lovely Miss Whitney Allen. Whitney Talks PRs in the building again for our Talk on Tuesday. I've been catching her off guard all day, left and right with the jabs. You know what I mean? Like, just giving it to her. She wasn't ready.
Wasn't ready. Not prepared at all.
But that's all a part of it. So we just having a good time in here talking, and we were talking a lot about how the industry is changing in Houston, how it's evolving, especially over the last few years. It's grown some more. Megan Thee Stallion coming out, being a huge female rapper from the area, definitely helping putting the city on the map. And then obviously there's other larger artists who've done some great things. Drake, Beyonce, them, and a countless number of others as well, that have done some huge things for the city. Scarface, can't forget it. I always feel like I feel bad if I feel like I don't mention somebody's name. I don't want to leave anybody out, but it's just been so. Houston has had a lot of artists, and now I think that we were talking about, the city is being recognized for the artistry that we have coming out of the city, and it's been really good for the artists that maybe I'm sure your artists are piggybacking off of some of that, right?
Absolutely. I mean, right now I feel like Houston's online with everything. Okay. And for from what I'm seeing, it's more of a collaboration ordeal. People are coming together, they're working together, they're connecting the dots. How can I help you? Where can we go together, to benefit from each other with this? So that's what it's about. I mean, why not? New York's been doing good, LA's been doing good, Houston.
Absolutely.
We're on the rise.
Absolutely. Now, what has it been like working with your artists or working with some of your clients as well? You said you had some companies and stuff like that you're working with, dealing with the cultural crisis that the country has been going through. What has that been like?
As of now, we're all just brainstorming, taking one day at a time, knocking things out, organizing, jotting things, what do we have to do, what's next, just staying on top of it, doing our research on how we can go about, standing out within the next 6 months and tapping into 2021, because that's our next, that's where we're headed. it.
You keep it. Listen, that's like the 5th time you done brought it.
2021.
You done put it in everybody's mind. Forget 2020. It's a wrap. It's over. Stay in the house. Just stay in the house. Wear your mask. Plan. Right. Prepare. And try to work out. You try to be ready for 2021.
I mean, you have no choice. If you're not ready for 2021 at this point, that's something personal.
But you could do the same thing though. When 2021 come, you know what I mean. You got your Christian Louboutins on again, right? You suited and booted, right?
You step into it. Bam. We get 3 months in and it's done.
man. Yeah. I don't know if anybody can recover from that one.
I don't know.
You know,
if we hit it like this again, it's gonna be different.
Yeah. It's gonna hit different, like as they say. It's not going to hit the same no more, right?
The same.
That's cool. So you guys are doing a lot of planning and things like that. Have you guys been active in, protesting, stating what their position is on the issue and stuff like that?
Absolutely. My clients have been utilizing their platforms. Some have been able to give back, with some organizations for Black Lives Matter, some local organizations for support. We've been able to utilize that as well, and just sticking to what's right. Yeah. How do you feel, from what we've seen thus far in terms of a lot of companies, have come out in support of the movement of Black Lives Matter, and how would you, as from a PR professional perspective, guide your clients on addressing the matter if it, for them to address it? Absolutely. I've been able to accommodate and speak to my clients regarding, but making sure that, we can create something from their brand as well. You know what I mean? So where they're comfortable with, and it all makes sense. Just creating a storyline, but drawing back to what's really important, what's going on, and staying, updated on everything that's with the world today. So okay, yeah. So because in your lifetime, I'm sure. Well, none. I know even in mine, like we've never been in this position where you got this. This is different. This is different. So what are you using as kind of like your basis to help, determine, make these decisions on, or help, where are you pulling your resources for guidance, or like what is that built on? Yeah. Well, as of now, I'm really excited because we really have a team and a good foundation to where we have really good research before we're stepping into anything, before we making a statement, before we have, any type of platform or any social. We have a good team for research behind the scenes. I'm actually still connected with my other PR people as well, all over. So we touch base with them as well to connect, just draw the lines for a few things, to stay in touch and just make sure that we're all on board. So lots of research, lots of connections, lots of phone calls, just making sure before we connect our client and draw that statement up and make sure we're pitching to the right, pitching with purpose. Right. So right. Is there a lot of activity in terms of pitching to different businesses, whether it's for different reasons right now, kind of given that everything has kind of been put on a standstill? Because just from an entertainment perspective, I don't know that I've seen any new movies or any I don't even know that I've seen a lot of major albums that been dropped or anything. Like singles, EPs. Definitely being sensitive right now, with everything, making sure that it makes sense and we can draw a storyline behind it. We're not just throwing anything out there because it has to be up to par. And this is just a sensitive situation right now. Now, John Legend just recently dropped something, and I think it was his point was, I guess to your point, was more making the connection to kind of what was going on. What was going on? You have to. There's no way you can go about this without being connected to what's going on. No way. This is we're living in this situation right now. So what would you say then in response to, like, because entertainment, you did think about sports as a part of entertainment too. So you got the leagues that are starting back. You got the NBA that's starting up at the end of this month. I've heard about Major League Baseball. Soccer is playing right now. So I would only think that given that that arena has opened up,
that the music industry would, or music, the nuts and bolts of what the entertainment industry is, will probably follow suit.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be some, I think, small steps before any big. Because there's been so many cancellations within, the big concerts that are the festivals that are always ongoing, that are major. So small steps before.
What kind of small steps do you think people would, artists, companies would make? Like, what could you? Honestly,
I really don't have 100% accuracy on that. I know that the artists have been really good at pivoting towards this with the virtual concerts, tapping into IGTV Live. So they've done really well with marketing themselves and their brands and what's going on today. So small steps, but they've utilized everything that they have. So I'm sure that whatever they have next is going to be something big.
Wow. So the artists are pivoting, and you know that. And most people know. I think from a music standpoint, artists make more money when they do stuff themselves, like leveraging their brand themselves, their shows or whatever they do. But I'm just curious to know about, not that it means anything, but what the labels are doing in relation to this. Like, how are they staying connected to the artists, or what are they doing, if anything, for the artists right now? Is there anything going on in terms of that?
Honestly, I'm not really tapped into that.
Okay.
That too heavy right now, but I know the A&Rs are still out there working pretty heavy on, with their clients or the up and coming that they're scouting out. I know A&Rs are still out there.
Getting ready for 2021.
They're getting ready. They're still on IG Live looking, you know what I mean? Yeah. They're tapped in. So it's still opportunity for artists to be found and stuff like that. And, absolutely.
Yeah, and using the platforms the right way to help
the platform
build their brands. I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool to know. So I know, being from Houston, you got to be a huge sports fan. So, you've been a little bit all over. So I don't know if you kind of took flight and support other teams, other organizations right now. I'm just saying, we're just asking.
I'm really, honestly, to be honest, 100%, I'm not really too sports fanatic.
What?
No, I'll go to a Rockets game if I'm invited. If someone has an extra ticket, I'll be sure to go support the Houston Rockets when we're up there, the Astros.
Okay.
But
so you at least know who the teams are. We'll start there. Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
That's a start.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm the minimum, very, very.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, it's interesting when you talk about everything that's going on, the pandemic, the cultural crisis that the country's in. How did it impact you? You're young in your career, young in the industry, in the business of what you're doing. How has what you've seen impacted you?
At first, it was just very hard to really grasp everything. We went out when, everything first, the protests, and we were out there, standing. But it was just hard to grasp this is still going on. I had to just sit back and think, how am I utilizing everything I can in the right way moving forward? And we had to have a team discussion, creative meeting on how we can go about, setting the platform for all of our clients and making sure that we're moving forward in the right direction, making sure we're setting the tone. We're there.
Okay.
So just pivoting.
Okay.
It was a scary sight.
Absolutely.
A little shaky. We didn't know what was next.
What were you feeling?
Hurt.
Okay.
Disbelief.
Right.
Why?
Right.
But.
Right. Did it make you? Did you have what was your reaction to it though? I know you were hurt. Did you have any kind of immediate reaction to what you were seeing?
I just wanted to hear everyone's voices. What do you think about this? How do you feel about this? What do you suggest? Where do you want to go? So picking up the phone, talking to all my clients. How do you feel? What's next with you? How can we make, where do you want to go with anything?
Right.
Just making sure I have that clear conversation to hear their voice before we make any moves.
Important. Important. So, because you're absolutely right. Hearing their voices and trying to understand where everybody is on the subject.
Absolutely, yeah. Because it's their brand, it's their company, it's their business. I'm just there to connect the dots.
Right.
To make it make sense.
Right. But I know it impacted, you yourself personally as well. Like, because again, he was from the Houston area.
Absolutely.
And then, you being a Houston native, born here and everything, and just being a young Black woman in today's world, I'm sure it had to have some real, real impact on you in terms of what you saw.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, has anybody, any of your artists really came out and really took a strong stance, like and said, hey, they're not tearing up nothing or nothing, but are they going to be making any projects geared towards, the message or anything like that?
We have a few projects we're working on now. I'm not really sure if he's going towards, clearing the message as far as, just a statement with that. But he has some stuff upcoming, one of our artists, so.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. I mean, it's exciting to see kind of what people are doing right now as they are, sitting back, and we have this downtime right now to deal with all of this stuff.
To deal with it all.
Yeah, because it's crazy, right?
Keep it going. Yeah, it's crazy, but I mean, we just got to keep going.
Yeah.
You got to move forward.
Yeah, you got to try to contain them when you got folks like 50 Cent that you might have to deal with, right? You got to start working on that. You got to start getting your game together on how you gonna deal with that.
Research.
I mean, when your artist blows up, you got to deal with that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be time to go.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. Tapped in heavy.
Yeah.
Tapped in.
Absolutely. For real. It's definitely gonna be a thing. It's definitely gonna be a thing. Is there, in terms of the entertainment industry, with like we were talking about the verses earlier, are there any artists that you like to see, do their thing?
Oh, gosh. They're all really hitting right now. Like, there's always some music dropping. Every week it's been something good. Like, everything's been shaking. Honestly, like, I don't know. There's really no one in particular, but Pop Smoke, his latest project was everything.
Yeah, was it?
Everything. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Okay.
So I mean, I'm really tapped in. I'm excited because everyone's really like utilizing this time really well, whether it's releasing, working on stuff behind the scenes, or collaborating. So
now, are you more tied to the hip hop side versus, like, let's say, they don't really have R&B anymore, but
it's all kind of
neo soul. It's called kind of blended together.
Blended together now.
Yeah, the blend. That might be the new term for the. Don't y'all start using my term now. I'm telling you, the blend.
We're gonna come back.
I'm trying to tell you. Listen, I'm looking for somebody. If I hear somebody call a music level lane, they call it the blend, it's gonna be a problem. I'm telling you straight up. Absolutely.
We get a witness.
Absolutely. But do you support, like, are you more interested in one particular
I'm all
category than the other?
Not just very diverse with it all.
Okay. Now, do you do any things out in Atlanta? Because you didn't mention Atlanta.
Honestly, I haven't did anything in Atlanta. I had something working. We were working on a project out there, and it was placed on hold. So maybe I'll tap back in later on. But as of now, not Atlanta.
Okay. And so, again, I just can't believe it's so powerful to see how young you are, and you being able to do the things that you've done in such a short time. Like, what would you advise to another young woman, young man who aspires to, whether it's be in the entertainment industry or any other business, being young, what kind of advice would you give them going into it? What would you think I'm that they should definitely take with them?
Sit back and soak it in, but do the groundwork first. So I would say, like, I'm a student to everything. Always listening, always taking notes, always, how can I be better at this, or what could I do to utilize this? But take in everything, listen, intern, work, do the work.
See, I think
the work.
you
gotta do the work first, and then let all that other stuff, flashiness, come later. But work first.
Yeah, that's the biggest piece, because I think a lot of times people, when they want to get into business or they want to do anything, they just want that end result, and so they're not willing, or or necessarily understand that you gotta go put in the work. You have to intern.
It's a process.
You have to, you have to go get coffee. And stuff like that for people, and
dry
you have
cleaners,
to,
all that.
Yeah, but if you want it bad enough,
and the thing is, I mean, it helps beneficial everything later on, and you want to know how to do all the tasks. How to be the behind the scenes production guy. You need to know how to work the cameras,
right?
Sweep the floors. You got to learn all the tasks. At the end of the day, it's your company, it's your business. You need to know all the ins and outs.
Right. Now, have you come across people like that just in your time? Let's say not since you've been an intern, but since you've been out, you've been on your own the past year or so. Have you had people that just said, "Ooh, you're doing PR, I want to get in," or what have you, and then they kind of just float away after that?
I mean, I've met a few people that are interested in the ideal look of it, but it's not as glamorous as it seems. There's nights where I'm up, still working on papers, making sure I have everything in order.
Right.
Reading over emails, making sure I'm, getting everything in before the deadline.
Right.
So you run into those people once they get, it's the feel of it, the real feel of it.
But how do you handle those people? How do you handle people that come to you, looking for an opportunity, or maybe they are supposedly presenting an opportunity to you, or they just want to get in and get affiliated? How are you dealing with that?
Well, we do our research before anything. Our first set of interns are actually the summer of 2020. We've stepped into that, and we had them submit all of their work that they've worked on beforehand. So their portfolios, their resumes. We do our research behind their socials as well. So, just staying on top of that, making sure they're coming in with the right reasons.
Okay.
And we have our interview sessions.
Okay, so you're trying to vet. You're vetting everybody that come through, or what?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta get that research in to make sure they're on the right.
It's mandatory. It's mandatory.
Definitely, you gotta check it out.
Because that kind of thing could come in and really help, really destroy, mess up your business.
And that's scary.
Right.
That's really scary, especially starting off now.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because some people don't understand it, because you do get a lot of people that come to you and they want certain things. They say they just that and the third, or want to be a part of it, and then a lot of it is always just talking. That's what bothers me, when people are just,
unfortunately,
you're just talking and really don't mean anything, and it's unfortunate when you see that kind of stuff. But it's good to know that you're taking the time, because that's your baby.
Oh right? Yeah, definitely.
Whitney Talks is your baby. You sat back with that one. Hold on. What?
Oh yeah, we gotta do our research. I'm like, let's schedule the interview for next week. Let me scout some things out right quick.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Now, you doing that for clients too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Not interns for clients, but we do our research for our client.
Right.
Research.
Right. Okay. Okay. Or I mean, do you do research on clients?
Oh yeah.
Before you would take a client.
Before I take clients. Oh yeah.
Okay.
We can't.
Absolutely. You can't have all that riffraff. I get it. Okay. All right.
Nothing personal.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's business.
It's all business.
It can't be personal. We got time for that, man. Leave that over there. No, we got time for that. No, we trying to do things in 2021. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Yeah, well, Whitney, it's been a true pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
I'm glad it's been real fun, and I hope you'll come back.
Yes, absolutely. I got you. Okay. I'll definitely be back around.
Well, you got to tell our listeners, our viewers, where they can find you if they want to be in touch, if they want to intern, or if they're looking for maybe some PR help. Where can they reach you?
All socials, Whitney Talks. There's also Whitney Talks PR and WhitneyTalks.com. We're relaunching the website. It's coming back up soon, so everything will be utilized in one digital touch.
Okay, in 2021.
Before that.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm just messing with you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad you came. And guys, you heard it. That's Whitney Talks right? Y'all can check out Miss Whitney Allen, man. Go out and reach out to her if you're interested in PR. You're looking for somebody to represent you, need some help. She's your girl. She can make it happen for you, all right? That's our show for today. Thank you so much for joining us on our Talk on Tuesday right here on the Cutting Edge, man. I'm your host, Al Roundtree. We're out. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Peace.